Vision Area 1. Oh, you just started recording?
Yes.
I have to repeat what I've just said, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is evening in Singapore. I'm sure it is morning in anywhere else in the world. Welcome to District U, Division O Area 1 Club 7664276, meeting number 5. Congratulations. You should give all of you yourself a great round of applause for being on time so that we can start the meeting right on the spot. A round of applause for all of you. Now, the first agenda of our meeting, shall we invite our president to give us an opening message? President Willie Loh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. 30 a month ago, we are a new child in the District U, exactly 13 days ago. And we are only 11 days to 2020. Looking back the last 5 meetings, we have improved, we have learned, we have improved, we are getting better and better. And in 5 days' time, we're going to be celebrating Christmas around the world. The first country to go first will be New Zealand and Australia, followed by Singapore, followed by Thailand, as well as the next one to go will be Europe, and the last one to reach Christmas will be America. We have reached this meeting, counting the days of a demo meeting together with online meeting. We are already have 9 meetings today. We have learned for other Toastmasters around the world, which I have attended at least 4 to 5 of it every week. And we put it a very professional meeting every meeting. Recently, Diversity Toastmasters Club President Minori have highlighted that our club have very good high standard. So I guess some of you have seen my post, and they are coming in to learn from us, not to steal our idea, because we learn for each other. Toastmaster, we are not here to show that we are better. We are here to learn for each other. The good thing, the bad thing. The bad thing we can throw down to the drain. As well, the good thing we can continue the culture. Come January 2020, 1st January 2020, the club membership will be open to everyone. Non-Toastmaster, dual member, and real estate member. We welcome everyone to join our big family here. So I will pass the control back to the Toastmaster of the day so that he can continue, and at the end of the meeting, we have a good time. Let's have a good time ahead. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Round of applause for Mr. President. Just show your hand. And thank you, Mr. President. So apt for him to talk about Christmas. This Christmas season is just round the corner. In fact, it's only 4 more days away for some country and 5 more for others. All right. And before I go into the rest of the program, let us introduce some of the important roles that are being played by a few individuals who have been constantly supporting this meeting. They are, for example, the timer. Okay, today the timer is the gentleman that calls himself Uncle Turkey. He's a timer, and he's Gerald, and he'll be monitoring each of our speakers' timing sequence. We will talk about it later. The next, we have our table topic master. Table topic master, let me scroll to you. Topic master right here. That's our table topic master. Yeah, Yamping? Yay, table topic master. And I'm sure he has some good surprises for us. Next, we have, of course, our president, who is also playing the role of the technical support officer. In this case, will be the sergeant at arms, I guess, doing all the recording and making sure that our technical, look into all the technical matters to make sure that all the meetings run well. And of course, I am Peter, your Toastmaster of the evening. And the very first segment after President's opening message is a little new insertion that we have created since last meeting. And that is an educational minute, we call it. Even though it says we have 8 to 10 minutes, I think I'm gonna use lesser than that because as a TME, I speak a lot. Now, why is it important to win your audience through camera's view? Can somebody tell me why is it important to win your audience through the camera? That means whatever we are doing here today, online Toastmasters, is very important because statistics shows that there are 5 over million views, right? 5 over billion views on YouTube on a daily basis. So people actually watch video more than a person-to-person communication these days. So it is very important to be able to look in front of the camera and then, with your eye connection to your audience and able to convince them whatever you stand for, whatever truth that you stand for, and bring them to your influence. So that is one of the key reasons why is it important to win audience through camera's view. As time goes on, a lot of the normal activities are being replaced by video spokesperson, video salesperson. I'm quite sure many of you have experienced that. In fact, just today, one of our clients requested us to do both animation as a video spokesperson and a live recording of the representative of the company as a video spokesperson as well. So one explainer video and one live person speaking on behalf of this startup company. It has become so important that every single company are deploying a video strategy. So that is the key reason why we are here one of the key reasons why we're here on online Toastmasters. Of course, apart from the fact that all of us have busy schedule and we need, to find different time slot to deliver our speech. So Uncle Turkey, seems like you only started timing when I talk about this topic, and there's only 2 minutes into this topic. So instead of having a one-way communication, I would like to ask everybody within this meeting, why do you think it is important for us to win our audience, apart from the reason I put forth? Why do you think it is important for us to win our audience through video in front of a camera? And what are the pitfalls for doing a speech in front of the camera? Can somebody start asking some questions? Dennis, you smile at me. It seems like you have some question for me.
Actually, I think one of the things that we need to be aware of is the placement of our camera, and that we try to look at our camera when we're speaking, so it doesn't look like we're looking down or off to the side, but looking directly at the camera, so that we are communicating with people. When we are talking face to face with people, we look directly at them. But since there is nobody out there, I mean, directly in front of us, the camera is the eyes of our audience. So we need to be very aware of the eyes of our audience and look at the camera.
Very well said, Dennis. Very well said. In fact, what Dennis just mentioned was, in fact, deployed by some of the US presidential election, starting way back to John F. Kennedy and the Nixon era. In fact, they were debating, you know, in the US, there's a US presidential debate, and they were debating who should be elected as the next president of United States. And what happened was, throughout the entire speech or this debate in front of a small selective live audience of less than 200 in the studio, behind the scene, the cameras is pointing at the president's entire speech, and they are focused on the president. Now, why did Kennedy win? Because apart from addressing the 200 people in the audience, as you can see now, I'm not looking at the camera lens. Apart from looking at the 200 people in the audience, Kennedy constantly deliver his speech back into the camera, looking intently with all his heart and soul, deliver the message not just to the live audience, but also to the audience at home. And he, in his speech, addressed the audience in front of the camera back at home. So that was one of the turning points for the Kennedy and Nixon presidential election. So that is why it is so important that we learn how to communicate on video and in front of cameras. And you know, Dennis, do you know that I'm looking at you? Or does it look like I'm looking at you? It does, right? Yeah. So there's one trick to it as we are playing with Zoom as a tool. Bring your gallery viewer, the whole row, to the top of your screen, right? I can't show you right now because I don't have a second camera, but later I will just turn on my phone as a second camera, locking on the second screen, showing you. List out, you know, the rest of your participant at the top of the screen. Then every time when you look up, even though you may not be looking exactly at the lens, it seems like I'm looking at Dennis, I'm looking at Willie, I'm looking at Paul, I'm looking at, is it Papat or Plum? Papat, okay, Papat. I'm looking at Uncle Turkey, I'm looking at Yam Ping, or Hendrik, or Angela, or Cheryl, yeah? So I see that Cheryl is practicing this very well, constantly looking at the lens instead of at my image, which is at the lower bottom of the screen, I believe. And yes, that's it. That's it. Now I've dragged on the speech to 5 minutes. I think that's good enough time for this short educational minutes. We have a lot more to share in the weeks to come. It is also about why stage light is important, because recently we realized that in district, well, not online district, the actual club districts, District 80, our last champion was disqualified because of either the video recording, the stage setting, or the lighting condition on the stage. So in the weeks to come, we have discussed internally with the committee, with the approval of President Willie, that every week we shall do a little educational minutes on how we can do better on communication on video. Okay, with that said, I'm going to hand over the time to the next speaker. And the next segment of the evening is our table topic session, the most, well, I hope all of you are longing for it. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10% now. Good, good. I'm certain now the table topic master has a lot more to share. Now, may we put our hands together and welcome table topic master Yam Ping. Yay! Turn on your mic, Yam Ping.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. Okay, I'll be taking over now as the table topics. Okay, today our topic is obviously Christmas. Yes, and Christmas is just about probably a few days from now in Singapore. Yep, 5 days, but maybe in some other countries a bit earlier depending on the time zone. So without further ado, okay, I will start the table topics. Do you have any guests here? Do we have any guests here?
No, only visiting TMs coming in.
Okay,
Our guest, I guess.
I guess. Okay.
She just raised her hand.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I will just okay, let me reorientate myself here. Okay, this is the table topic segment or the impromptu speaking. Okay, all speakers will have up to 2.5 minutes to speak on a given topic. Okay, timer, can you show your timing? Okay, I'm going to say out the timing. Okay, at 1 minute, it's green color. Okay, Uncle Jared, are you with me?
We were using the Toastmasters app, so it will auto show the colors. Just announce them accordingly.
Okay, I will just continue announcing. So at 1.5 minute, it's yellow. At 2 minutes, it's red color. So after that, the speaker will have 30 seconds to wrap up. After 2.5 minutes, if the speaker is still speaking, he will be disqualified. So let's start the game rolling. Who wants to start first? Who wants to start?
Pat raised her hand earlier.
Who raised the hand?
The lady with the Santa Claus hat.
Oh, Ping. Ping, you want to try? Sorry, I cannot hear you because the audio is okay. Good. Can maybe Ping, can you speak into your mic? All right, can you hear me, Ping?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Can you? Okay. There are some topics. Okay. Are you able to see the table topics agenda at your end?
No.
No.
You need to share your screen. I'm taking over as technical. Willie has just left the room already.
Okay. So how do I share my screen?
Go to share at the bottom. There's an up arrow. Share.
Share. Okay. I will go.
Okay. Got it?
Got it.
Got it? Okay. You should share with everybody.
All right. Okay. Give me a moment. While I'll share my screen.
You need to share your screen, the slides that is given to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Got it?
All right. Ping.
Okay. Good.
Are you ready? Ready
Okay,
to set the topic?
I can see it.
Okay. Maybe you can tell me the number.
Let's try number 1.
Oh, number 1. That's the first one. Let's see. All right. Helen Miller, probably the reason we all go so haywire at Christmas time with the endless, unrestrained, and often silly buying of gifts is that we don't quite know how to put our love into words.
That is absolutely true. I have 3 children and I will go crazy buying everything for them because everything I see, I would like them to have it. So my gifts to my children are unlimited because this is my way of showing my love to them, is to give them everything that mostly I think they should have. A lot of time they complain that I didn't get them what they want, but everything I see, if I think that one of my children would need it, as a mother, a lot of time I feel like they need to have this. It's not like they want it wanted it. So that's why, as a mother, I will go haywire buying everything for the children. They are grown now, so they do tell me now what they want. And even though I still buy them what they want, and I also still buy them whatever I think they should have. And that's how I put my love into the gift. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Pink, for your speech. Let's go back to the table topics list. Any more takers? Angela, I want to try. You want to try or not? Or anyone else?
Yes, okay.
Okay, Angela, I can hear you. Yes, can you tell me which number you want to try?
8, please.
Number 8, okay. Oh, the Polar Express. See, is believing, but sometimes the most real things in the world are the things we can't see. So over to you, Angela.
Good evening, everybody. I have to say I disagree entirely. The most real things are the things that we can see, and we shouldn't believe in things that we can't see. I think we spend too much time believing in things which are complete nonsense. Fairies, witches, ghosts, cats being unlucky, superstitions. If you wear this color or that color, it'll have a bad effect on you. If you can prove scientifically that something works by trying it out on lots of people, then that's fair. But a lot of people think things apply to the whole world, which just apply to them. You often hear people saying, oh, I wouldn't die of cancer because my great-grandfather smoked 100 a day and he was fine. And I heard somebody once say this at a Toastmasters meeting. He said, my grandfather used to smoke so many cigarettes a day, and he was able to run around a field every day for an hour, and he lived to a ripe old age. And I thought, yes, but it was running around the field that possibly counteracted the smoking, or it could be that you are one of the 3% who have better genes than the rest of the world, and what applies to your family doesn't apply to everybody else. So that's a case where you must see the whole picture and see the small picture, but what you've got to see is the truth and not just an idea which, when you're trying to make the facts fit your wishful thinking. He basically wanted to go on smoking. He tried to get the facts to fit it. I'm not happy with the way that we have children believing in Santa Claus, that there is one person who is Santa Claus who arrives on a sleigh. I personally know he doesn't, that isn't the case. But I've been told by a child that my father says, if you don't believe in Santa Claus, you won't get a present. So since I wanted a present from the girl's father, I had to say, let's discuss something else. There you are. Don't believe everything you're told unless I tell you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Angela. Okay, the next speaker, please. Anyone wants to try? So we have, how many more? We have 17 more topics. Want to try?
Dennis will try.
Dennis, you want to try?
Yes.
Okay. Which number?
I'll take number 16.
Number 16, huh? Okay, by Shirley Saleh. Sorry, you can correct my spelling, correct my pronunciation if I'm wrong. Christmas now surrounds us. Happiness is everywhere. Our hands are happy with many tasks as carols fill the air. Over to you, Dennis.
Okay, Madam Table Topic Master and fellow Toastmasters. Actually, Christmas has been surrounding us for probably the last several months. at least here in the United States, you'll find that probably around September, we start seeing that the displays around the stores start putting out the Christmas different decorations, the lights, and that type of thing. And we haven't even had Thanksgiving. We haven't even had Halloween or even Thanksgiving yet. So I think that Christmas starts a little bit too early. But now that we are approaching Christmas and it's only a few days away, it feels much more like Christmas to me because it is getting close and we really are focusing on what is happening and what is the real reason for this type of year. I feel that we start hearing Christmas music in the stores and in the restaurants, and it does feel a lot more like Christmas. So people are really rushing around the stores now trying to buy their Christmas presents and trying to help and hope that these Christmas presents that they buy help make the family or their friends happy. So I think that Christmas right now is the time that this right now is when Christmas really surrounds us and we feel much better about the season. But a few months ago, I thought it was way too early, but now I think it is really great that we are focusing in on Christmas and our hands are really moving fast to get out there and buy the presents for our different friends and family. Back to you, Madam Topic Master.
Okay, thank you very much, Dennis. I personally feel that Christmas is very close, and it's possible if I were in your shoes, I would feel a bit fatigued because first of all there was
Machine has just raised
yes,
hand.
there was Thanksgiving. Yes, sorry, what is it?
Machine just raised hand to take part in table topic. Machine.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yep. So this machine, sorry, I need to be able to see you. Sorry. Give me a while I scroll down because quite a long list of people here.
Yes, Machine, can you?
Yeah, I can't see you.
Turn on your video, Machine.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Okay, machine. Okay, which one will you learn to try?
Turn on your audio.
Not yet.
So she's on.
She's on mobile.
Yeah, I'm on mobile.
Okay.
Maybe 20?
20?
Yeah.
Okay, machine, can you see me?
Cannot. Where?
Okay, I know. It's okay. You tell me now which number you want to try.
20.
20. Just open 20 for her.
20. Okay.
Read out to her.
Okay. Christmas is not as much about opening our presents as opening our hearts. So yeah, over to you, Mei-Xing.
Christmas is not much about opening our present, but opening to our hearts. Well, do you buy presents to give to your parents? Do you buy presents to your friends? Do you buy presents to your fellow classmates and long-lost friend? Well, presents itself is a gift from the heart. So when you give out something from the heart, you are opening up the heart to someone else, and sometimes it's vulnerable because it's enable you to have a gift to that person particularly. So Christmas itself is not. Well, just a minute. Let me see. Let me see the. It's the gift from the heart, right? So yeah, I do agree. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mei-Xing. Okay, let me. Okay.
The next person who raised his hand is Paul. Paul from Campbell.
Okay, Paul, which number you want to try?
Number 12, thanks.
Number 12, huh? Okay, this is by Edward Paula and George Wayne.
Can you reshare your? You need to reshare your screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see the screen now?
Hello, George. It's the most wonderful.
Because I'm already sharing the screen.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Paul,
Thank
can
you.
see? Good.
I can see now.
Okay, great, mate.
It's okay. It's right. It's the most wonderful. Okay, the quote is, "It's the most wonderful time of the year," and this is a quote that you see in a particular Christmas song, and I won't say all Christmas carols, but a lot of Christmas carols and Christmas songs are supposedly conveying the joy and the festivity of the season. Now, whether or not it really is the most wonderful time of the year really depends a bit on your personal perspective. So, for example, for some people, Christmas is a fun time of the year. At other times, for other people, Christmas can be a very difficult time of year, especially for people who are perhaps not as well off financially, or people who are suffering from separation or from loss. If it's the first Christmas after a particular family event, that can be extremely difficult indeed, as many first events are, such as, well, I'll use the death in the family as a classic example. My father passed away in March this year, so this is the first Christmas that I suppose I and my mother would have without him. And consequently, consequently, one's personal experience colours, I would believe, the perception of Christmas in those parts of the world where Christmas is formally celebrated or commemorated. So while the sentiment itself, "It's the most wonderful time of the year," feels sort of warm and welcoming, in reality, it is truly a matter of your perception and your personal perspective, and from there, and as I said, and no one answer is ultimately the right answer. So, thank you, Madam Table Toastmaster.
Okay, thanks very much, Paul. Okay, okay, who else wants to take part in the table topic?
I can give it a try.
Sorry, okay, who wants to try?
Henrik wants to try. Henrik.
Oh,
Yeah.
Henrik, okay.
Number 17, please.
Number 17, huh? Okay. Peace on earth will come to stay when we live Christmas every day. Over to you, Henrik.
Well, that's a little philosophic thing. Please will say the first thing I think about, and actually I have been singing the half of the days, when I think about John Lennon and peace in Christmas. He's singing, "So this is Christmas, and what have we done?" Yes, that we could discuss. But Christmas is actually a peaceful time of the year. I used to drive a taxi, and I used to say like this: we're having 3 weekends or holidays, which is terrible, crowded. It is middle summer, it is Christmas Eve, and it is New Year's Eve. We used to say like a driver, in midsummer, we have good roads and bad people. In Christmas time, we have bad roads and good people, because everyone is happy getting presents. But in the New Year, bad roads and bad people. So that's why I never that's why I never work on New Year. But on Christmas, that is good. I can have Christmas gift, and I can have chocolates, I have wine, everything for my clients sometimes. That's a very good thing. Everyone is happy. So Christmas shall be peaceful. Otherwise, why do we have in Christmas time? We sing about Christmas time for someone is born, yes, but we should be happy. Happy. But everyone can't be happy, of course, but we try as much happy as I can. Peace on earth, and Merry Christmas to you all.
Okay, thank you, Henrik. Okay. Okay, anyone else who wants to try? Christmas is coming.
Be you happy volunteer to speak, to choose a table topic? Toastmaster Pim.
Pim has spoken already.
Then let me try someone else. Who else have not speak? Okay. Toastmaster Shirley still there?
Cheryl.
I think she's
Cheryl, no, I don't think she's there.
She should. Yeah, she's
Oh,
there.
yes, she's online now.
She's always there.
Let's let her choose a topic.
I'm old and I forgot which ones were taken. So if this one's been taken, give me another one. I'll take 10.
Number 10. Let me see. Yes. Let us keep Christmas beautiful without a sort of greed. Okay, over to you, Shara.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Fellow Toastmasters, if you grew up with the tradition of Christmas like I did, it's all, of course, about the giving, not the receiving. But small children don't always understand that. I have 3 grandchildren who cannot hardly wait to get at those presents because it's important to them. But is this greed or is this just excitement? As we get older, it becomes more and more about what you can do for others and finding something that will be an appropriate gift for the person. It becomes a greater and greater challenge the older I get. I also am less about the gifts that are under the tree for me. Honestly, I can purchase whatever I really want or need, and it becomes important to me to make sure that I give back more than I receive. We have a problem in some places, of course, where the gifts people are suggesting for stocking stuffers cost more than my income for a month. And I wonder if that is building greed in people. I don't see it in the people I work with and live with or have fun with, but I wonder if out there somewhere people really think you need to give a stocking stuffer that costs your month's salary. When I was a kid, a stocking stuffer was an orange. In fact, while I've been off screen, I've been eating one. And that was a great treat to get a mandarin orange at Christmas time in the bottom of my stocking. So I hope that greed is not growing out there, and I hope Christmas truly does bring a spirit of generosity. I'm Table Topics Master.
Okay, thank you very much, Shara. Okay, let me. Just now we have another, the Toastmaster will come online.
Toastmaster Takako.
Takako.
Yeah. Choose a topic.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Takako.
I've just logged in, so I don't know how to do it. Well,
choose a topic, whatever topic.
Yes.
Choose the number?
Yes, choose a number.
Okay. Number 7, please.
Okay. Will you never be too grown up to search the skies on Christmas Eve?
Well, obviously, I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore, but I sometimes search for the NASA's tracking site and try to find where the Santa Claus is at present. And I also introduce this site to children so that they can enjoy a lot of games and a lot of information about Santa Claus. So I enjoy watching this site every year. And do you know this site? No, lad, Truck Santa. So if you don't know it, please visit the site. Actually, this morning, I had an English class in elementary school and introduced a lot of events and food specific for Christmas. And I also introduced children this site. So it's very useful. And in that sense, I'm not too grown up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Takako. Let's, okay, so who else have not tried? Peter, you want to try? Oops.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Yamping?
Yes.
What are the numbers available? I wasn't keeping track.
Oh, I also can't remember.
Number 18. Number 18 then.
Okay, let's see the topic. Yes, okay.
Taken
This
already.
one nobody
Taken
has
already.
tried.
Taken already.
Taken already.
Taken already.
Number 9. Number 9.
Number 9, Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, where all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Over to you, Peter.
I have never read anything from Clement Clarke Moore before, so it was the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. I would relate this quote to a silent night. You know, this is the only first thing that pops up in my mind. The song Silent Night. Yeah. Anybody knows the song Silent Night? Yeah. If you don't raise your hand. Cool. Silent Night, Holy Night. Yeah. That's, basically, the topic again was the night before Christmas. Nobody makes a noise, not even a mouse. I guess this statement or this quote from this Clement chap is referring to the oncoming of somebody great from somewhere in the universe, since we try to be circular in this discussion. And because it's such a holy night, even the mouse doesn't make noise. You know, even if a mouse is getting about its daily routine of looking for cheese. I believe the statement is about the solemnness of the silent night, where we stop and pause for a moment and reflect on the year that has passed and the coming of somebody important, the coming of the time that is so important for all of us. So, well, it is always calm before the storm. And that's the silent moment I believe Mr. Clement is describing. Okay, I have hit my 2-minute mark and I shall stop here.
Okay, thanks very much, Peter. Okay, it looks like Mikiko has not come online. Mikiko-san, are you there?
She was a moment ago.
Yes, I'm here.
Mikiko-san, yes, okay, I can see you.
I'm here.
And you think, okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, can you tell me the number?
May I choose number 18?
8
18. I
taken
think
already.
it has been done, yes. Can you choose another number?
How about number 2?
Number 2. Oh, yes. Okay, I will read it out for you. As for me, I like to take my Christmas a little at a time all through the year.
I like to take my Christmas a little at a time, all through the year. Yeah, I agree. I agree this message, because if I have the Christmas all through the year, maybe I would feel like happy Christmas every day. So every moment I can enjoy Christmas time. And during Christmas time, my family members and relatives are planning to get together. So this kind of events are happening every day. Happens every day. Maybe I feel good, especially the heartwarming events with the party at the party venue. We could exchange messages among participant members. So maybe we can play games and we can chat every day. Such a wonderful time it is. So I feel like I like to have the Christmas time every day, every single moment. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you very much, Mikiko-san. Sorry, I think somehow wait, how come I can't see my face even on the screen? Okay, but it's okay. I will just carry on from here.
You want to see your face, right?
I can't see. Okay, I will start my video first. Okay, now I can see my face. Okay. Are there anybody else who has not tried yet? Anyone else?
Gerald.
Why, you okay? What number? Peter, choose the number for me.
Why you're so lazy, you don't choose?
Usually I'm very lazy one.
Yeah, give it number 4.
Okay, number 4 for me.
4. A good conscience is a continual Christmas.
That's the beauty of getting people to choose. I get very nice topics. Okay, a good conscience is a continual Christmas. Every time we need to think of ourselves that we can always be thinking and seeing that every time a good conscience is having about being relaxed and also having the conscience, because every time we are just giving presents all the time, just literally. Because it's a good conscience. It's like a Christmas giving, because every time when we do for Christmas, we are always giving out presents. Even just yesterday, Willie and I were attending an event, and I gave away my lucky draw prize because I had the same prize at home. So there's no point me keeping the same prize in the house. So it's always a continuous Christmas whereby continuous giving, because we always giving things throughout the year. Like me, I involved in 4 different fundraising projects throughout the year and handling different items to raise for. So I oversee quite a few funds, of course, being part of the committee. So that is a continuous giving. Even I myself do a monetary donation from time to time, sometimes donations in kind. Even 2 years ago, around this time, I was up in Myanmar, about that, I think 2 years and 10 days plus. I was there ago. I was there to do a 8,000 Singapore dollars fundraiser. That's about US 6,000 thereabouts. So we did a race for the school. I'm still in touch with the school till today, where I'm just supporting as a benefactor. And anytime when I'm up in the school in the country, they will come down and find me. Then the journey, they will make the effort to find me, because the school to the city takes them about 2.5 hours to reach me. So that's how far they really make the travel to effort to even come down and even share the knowledge, because it's about continuous Christmas. So every time Christmas is all about giving, and likewise we should always give throughout the year. Just to link back Mikiko-san's topic about Christmas happen throughout the year on the gift, and how that we and every find that it's best at Christmas all year round. So life is just about having Christmas and keep giving. Don't stop giving because Uncle Turkey will be giving you more turkeys throughout the day. And I hand back to Yan Ping.
Okay, thank you very much, Jared, who is also known as Uncle Turkey. Well, I will be doing the Toastmaster topic, the last one. Okay, so let me share the thing again. So I will choose, probably I'll choose number 6. That's the topic. It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. Okay, let me see. It's about how much we give, but not how much love we put in. There is a saying, money doesn't buy everything. Yes, I can buy a lot of things using money. But if I do not have the hearts, I do not have the compassion for people who may feel very left out in Christmas, what is the point of giving out Christmas? It is as good as wasting my time and resources. So personally, I have already stopped giving presents. Oh, I know some of you may guess, but I think it is better for the recipient if I spend time with the person, getting to know the person, just be with the person, as the person talk to me and share, about the struggles, that he or she faces in life. Now, this is the way I express my care and share. So, thank you very much, Toastmasters. Okay, and over to you okay, are there anybody else who has not done the Toastmasters, the table topics?
I believe everybody covered the topic already. Yeah. Who has not, you may raise your hand, but thank you very much, Table Topic Master. And that was Table Topic Master Yan Ping with the last Table Topics. A big round of applause for Yan Ping. Our friends or guests from Japanese, we wave our hand as a sign of clapping or giving applause. All right. Welcome, Takako and Mikito-san, right? Yes, welcome to our meeting. We started earlier and you joined in time for the table topics. And Angela, is it raining in your house? I can't hear you, Angela. But you have your umbrella all popped up behind you. So
yes, I thought it was my way of hiding what's behind me and looking neater.
Right, so there's no leaking pipe whatsoever that's troubling you.
No.
Because this is a season of giving. If it happened to be so, then we will have to send a plumber over to your place immediately. Eh?
Right. Table topics. I'm having trouble with this.
You're done with your table topics. We are now moving on.
Yes, but I can't vote.
Okay, now it's time to vote. Before we vote, can we have the timer? Uncle Turkey, is everybody qualified to be voted as the, the best table topic speaker?
Yes, all are qualified. The timing report has been typed in the chat as concurrent. So it has been reported live already. So everybody is in time. So that's the good news.
Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster.
Now I see that the little device has been up and all your names are inside there.
The ballot's missing a couple of names.
I don't see Henrik.
Henrik is missing, yeah. I might just put number 10.
Mikiko, what about Mikiko?
Mikiko, ask Willie, technical guy, please come in.
Willie.
Mark the 11-2, follow Hendrik's advice. Okay.
Not
Willie,
Takado, but Takako, maybe.
Takako, okay.
Kako is missing, yes.
Takado.
Oh, he's typed wrongly.
Oh, yes.
He's trying to copy.
Takado, is it?
Takako, yeah.
Takako.
There's a spelling error.
Takako.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Can we have the poll up quite immediately? If not, I'm going to move on because we are so far moving along with our timing pretty well.
Only 2 persons.
What is it?
Wait for Willie. Willie, what's up?
We need to. It's only 2 people vote.
2 people vote.
I can't.
Okay.
It
I
doesn't
can't
have
see
to
the
fit.
poll. I think the poll went up and then disappeared.
Okay. I think the submit button is grayed out. I can't click.
Yeah, I clicked on a number and I can't submit.
Okay.
Well, if you're voting on number 6, for example, then put on number 11 too, further down at the square. Then
okay.
you can submit, because you have to put these two screens that you have to put on both screens. Put on 11 too, for example, and then you want to vote. Then you can submit. Number
Okay.
11.
Yes, as the I can't vote, right, President?
You want to vote, okay, Peter?
Peter, you want to vote? Let him do something. Okay, I done with my vote already.
Somebody need to mute.
Okay, you can vote.
Okay, somebody really need to mute because there's feedback, very strong feedback. I can vote. I can't even see the poll now. It's all right. It's okay. Shall we move on?
Yep. I'm done.
Good. The time now is it just turned 10 p.m. Singapore time. And according to our schedule, we are half an hour ahead of our break. Our break is supposed to happen on the 27 past 10. So shall we have an early break? Everybody go for a little wee-wee and a little drink of water, hydrate yourself, and come back with higher energy to listen to our actual speech, our prepared speech segment that's coming up next. Shall we?
Really, how long is the break?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. So the time is 10 o'clock sharp. Everybody be back by 10 Singapore time or whatever is your time over there in your zone, in your country. 13 past 10. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second half of our meeting number 5. And the next segment is our prepared speech segment. Tonight, well, for some of you, it's this morning, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 speakers. We still have 7 speakers, do we, Mr. President?
6
now. Okay, we have 6 speakers that's prepared and ready to share with you their wonderful stories. Now, beginning with speaker number 1, and prior to me introducing speaker number 1, let us have the first evaluator from all the way from United States. Which part of United States is that? Dennis? You got unmute?
Yeah, I'm on here. Who am I evaluating now since everything has changed?
You are evaluating Joan Swati Souza. How do I consistently motivate people?
Okay.
Dynamic leadership, 1, evaluation and feedback.
Okay.
So Dennis, where are you from?
I'm in California, west coast of the United States.
All the way from California, United States. Let's have Dennis as evaluator 1 tell us the project objective.
Okay. According to the evaluation form that I hope is correct, the project that our speaker will be working on is actually a 2-part presentation. He gives one speech and it gets evaluated, and then a second speech is written, and the whatever evaluation advice was given in the first speech, it's supposed to be applied to the second speech. But right now, this is the first speech that she's giving. And the speech can be on anything that she wants to give, and it's for the purpose is to demonstrate that she has applied to, wait a minute, that's for the second speech. I'm sorry, I have the wrong evaluation form, but I'll evaluate it properly. Basically, she's just supposed to give a presentation and then later apply whatever advice I give her on this one to the second speech. But basically, talk about anything she wants and I'll evaluate it.
Thank you, Dennis from California, USA. And next, let us welcome this speaker who's attempting Dynamic Leadership 1, evaluation and feedback. And the topic she's presenting is, how do I consistently motivate?
Sorry. I had actually told it was understanding my leadership style. I had changed the topic about 2-3 days ago. I'm sorry. I had informed.
Understanding my leadership style.
And it's a level 2, project 1.
Level 2, project 1. So it's dynamic leadership.
Correct. Yeah.
Level 2, project 1.
All right.
Understanding my leadership style, presenting to us this topic, we have a speaker who is no stranger in our Singapore Online English Toastmaster. In fact, she has spoken numerous times on our club meeting. And her name is Joanne D. Souza.
Thank you. Thank you for such a warm welcome. Thank you. I'm here going to talk about certain leadership styles that I need to work on. So just to kind of get an idea about how many of you have led before, please raise your hands. So you have led, everyone has led in different capacities. President, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I founded this group called as Vichar Vimarsh about 4 years ago. The purpose of this group was actually to empower our students. The basic definition of Vichar Vimarsh in Indian language means exchange of ideas, different ideas and thoughts, and pondering and discussing over those ideas. So the purpose of this group was actually to empower our high school students. As my child got into the last 4 years of school, now she's in the university, I really felt the need to support her, as many of my friends equally felt. The whole issue was that I and many of my friends come from local schools, and we had no idea as to what actually goes into the university application and what actually the colleges look for. And as you all know, that the last 4 years of the school before you get into university are very crucial. So the whole idea of Vichar Vimarsh was basically to provide guidance to our high school students, not only with respect to academic support, but also with respect to providing them support with picking up extracurricular activities, picking up the right kind of courses, and also to help them, to give them some emotional and social support. That means to give them some emotional intelligence. It was not only to the students, but also to overambitious parents like us who were really intending our kids to get into reasonably good international universities. So that was the burning need. That was the true intention, and this is what the purpose of Vichar Vimarsh was going towards. Now, as a founder of this group, I laid down certain rules. The first rule was to call and invite all these A-class or Excel students to our Vichar Vimarsh group so that they can provide their own study strategies to all our high schoolers with respect to how to study and how they can improve their study skills. The second topic also, the rule was to pick an issue on emotional and how to be emotionally intelligent. Now, the whole idea was that the parents were supposed to do research on this emotional intelligence. For example, you pick a topic on anger management, and how can you, what is the etiology of anger management? How can you help your students, in order to be more empowered and be more controlling? How to handle, for example, also how to handle stress, and etc., etc. The third rule was the parents were supposed to come up with their own life experiences on how to deal with this various emotional issues and give support to other parents on how to deal with it. Now, what happened was, down the road, some of the parents had completely different idea. They did not want to go through this labor-intensive research work, but they wanted to go through a book, follow a book. That means just go through the bestseller author and follow the rules and follow the strategies of what the author was saying. So the idea here was that, rather have somebody who is more experienced take a single author's opinion rather than going going through all this excessive research work. Now, down the road, what happened was, I agreed to it, but unfortunately, we ended up doing neither research work, and we neither ended up even going and reading a particular best-selling author who is best and who can deal with this particular emotional topic very well. Now, what happened was, but we ended up inviting students who had excelled in their study strategy, and they came up to the forum. They spoke to many of our junior students and provided them with their study guidelines and study strategies, and some of our junior students did very well. Now, what happened was, after I left the meeting, I agreed to what the other parents had said, that, we'll go through the book and, we'll just avoid all this excessive research work. But when I went back, I was completely disheartened. And I just did not, and I felt dejected that, that why was this particular topic of research not being done? And we have failed to take opinions of various authors and various researchers. And I just did not, did not have the heart to even continue Vichar Vimarsh. I completely switched off from Vichar Vimarsh for a long time. Now, the idea here is not to evaluate, why I switched off and so on. And, why, the topic here is today to evaluate my leadership style. Now, as you know, if I Googled and I saw that different types of leadership styles. One is autocratic, the other one is bureaucratic, the other one is transformational, transactional, and various others are lazy-phrasy style. I think what I adopted that time was a midway between a lazy-phrasy style and a democratic style. Now, what is a lazy-phrasy style? A lazy-phrasy style is something which kind of agrees with whatever the team members say. A democratic style is something where we incorporate everyone's opinion and take our own decision. Now, I completely agree with one of the best-selling leadership author. His name is Brian Tracy. And what he says that a true leader should know that he is dependent more on the team members than the team members are dependent on him. So he needs to walk softly. I think I walked too softly. I forgot to stand up for my own right. I forgot to be very assertive. I forgot that I had to believe in myself in a capacity as a leader. And what happened during that time? Parents and kids both lost the opportunity to deal with emotional issues and the perspective that was received from various authors and how to support their children. And as you know, these things are so crucial. They can in fact make or break your career if you're not emotionally intelligent. So I researched and I found out how to be assertive. Now there are 3 key points in order to be assertive. 1, to be absolutely clear with your purpose of your leadership skills. Lay your rules properly down. Completely lay your means, why you're doing it, even your feelings behind it, and let your team members know exactly the purpose, the means of your leadership, and be absolutely clear about it. The second is do your homework properly. That means do Google research if in case you get challenged from your team members. So, your purpose of your and means and your objectives, you have to support that with proper evidence. The third is to maintain consistent positive eye contact. By that, I mean respect everyone's opinion, be inclusive, but at the same time, do not allow others to manipulate your rules or your opinion. Believe in your capacity as a true leader. Believe that you're there to benefit the entire society at large. So again, I repeat, in order to be assertive, be absolutely clear with your purpose and means. Secondly, do your homework properly in order to support your opinion. And thirdly, be inclusive, but at the same time, believe in yourself. Finally, remember, only leaders can bring a change in the society and not followers. Thank you. Back to Toastmasters of the day.
We cannot hear you.
I said thank you, Toastmaster Joanne Souza. Thank you for sharing us understanding of own leadership style. If I can add a 5th leadership style, that is sometimes we are a bit elastic with our style of managing timing. Okay, we have to move on now to the next speaker. I understand the next speaker is in the house, and we have some arrangement for the next speaker, Alicia Chia, to be speaking first, right? And Alicia Chia's evaluator is Gerald. I guess that's Uncle Turkey Gerald Ong. So Gerald, the speech objective, please. Unmute.
Okay, sorry, I just saw it. Tell a folktale that is entertaining and enjoyable for a specific age group. Use vivid imagery and voice to enhance the tale. Okay, let me pull out my evaluation form. Then from Dropbox. Then I'm ready.
Next, speaking to us. Let me see. Where is your speech?
Peter, give me a few seconds. I go get my prop.
Okay, stand by your prop. I'm standing by my manual.
Mr. President, is this a new add-in? Because I cannot find Alicia's name in the list. Speaker number what?
4th speaker, Pauline.
Oh, Pauline. That's Alicia. Okay.
That's Alicia.
Got it.
Okay, wait. My form is not ready yet. Give me a while. Okay.
Alicia, give me a cue so that I can introduce you before you start.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
Keep quiet, please. Thank you. The next speaker speaking to us about storytelling on the folk tale. Her title is The Bird with Nine Heads. And let us welcome Toastmaster Alicia Chia Po Lin. Yay!
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Peter. Long, long ago, there once lived a king and a queen who had a daughter. One day, when the daughter went walking in the garden, a tremendous storm suddenly came up and carried her away with it. Now the storm had come from the bird with 9 heads. Who had robbed the princess and brought her to his cave. The king did not know whether his daughter had disappeared, so he had proclaimed throughout the land, "Whoever brings back the princess may have her for his bride." Now, a youth had seen the bird as he was carrying the princess to his cave. This cave, though, in the middle of a sheer wall of a rock. One could not climb to it below, and nor could one climb to it from above. And as the youth was walking around the rock, another youth came along and asked him what he was doing there. So the first youth told him that the bird with 9 heads had carried off the king's daughter and had brought her up to his cave. The other chap knew what he had to do. He called together all his friends and they lowered the youth to the cave in a basket. And when he went into the cave, he saw the king's daughter sitting there and washing the wound of the bird with 9 heads. For the hound of heaven had bitten off his 10th head, and his wound was still bleeding. The princess, however, motioned to the youth to hide, and he did so. When the king's daughter had washed his wound and bandaged it, the bird with 9 heads felt so comfortable that one after another, all his 9 heads fell asleep. Then the youth stepped forth from his hiding place and cut off all the 9 heads. But the king's daughter said, "It would be best if you were held up first and I came after." "No," said the youth. "I will wait down below here until you are in safety." At first, the king's daughter was not willing. Yet at last, she allowed herself to be persuaded and climbed into the basket. But before she did so, she took a long pin from her hair, broke it to halves, and gave him one and kept the other. She also divided her silken handkerchief with him and told him to take care of both gifts. But when the other man had drawn up the king's daughter, he took her away with him and left the youth in the cave, in spite of all his calling and pleading. The youth now took a walk around the cave. There he saw maidens, all of whom had been carried off by the bird with 9 heads, and who had perished there of hunger. And on the wall hung a fish, nailed against with 4 nails. When he touched the fish turned into a handsome youth, who thanked him for delivering him, and they agreed to regard each other as brothers. Soon, the first youth grew very hungry. He stepped out of the cave to search for food, but only stones were lying there. Then suddenly, he saw a great dragon who was licking his stone. The youth imitated him, and before long, his hunger disappeared. He next asked the dragon how he could get away from the cave, and the dragon nodded his head in the direction of his tail, as much as to say he should sit himself down on the ground and the dragon would sit, and the dragon allowed him to climb up, and in the twinkling of an eye, he was down on the ground, and the dragon had disappeared. He then went on until he found a tortoise shell full of beautiful pearls. But they were magic pearls, for if you flung them into the fire ceased to burn. And you flung them into the water would be divided, and you could walk through the midst of it. The youth took the pearls out of the tortoise shell and put it inside his pocket. Not long after he reached the seashore, there he flung the pearl into the sea, and at once the waters divided, and he could see the sea dragon. The sea dragon cried, "Who is disturbing me here in my own kingdom?" The youth answered, "I found pearls in a tortoise shell, and I flung one into the sea, and now the waters have divided for me." "If that is the case," said the dragon, "then come into the sea with me, and we will live there together." Then the youth recognized him for the same dragon who had seen in the cave. And with him was the youth with whom he had formed a bond of brotherhood. He was the dragon's son. "Since you have saved my son and become his brother, I am your father," said the old dragon. And he entertained him with hospitably with food and wine. One day, his friend said to him, "My father is sure to want to reward you, but accept no money, nor any jewels from him, but only the little gold flask over yonder. With it, you can conjure up whatever you wish." One day, and sure enough, the old dragon asked him what he wanted by way of a reward. And the youth answered, "I want no money, nor any jewels. All I want is that little gold flask over yonder." At first, the dragon did not want to give it up, but at last he did let him have it after all. And then the youth left the dragon's castle. When he set foot on dry land again, he felt hungry. At once, a table stood before him, covered with a fine and plenteous meal. He ate and drank. After he had gone for a while, he felt weary. And there stood an ass waiting for him, on which he mounted. After he had ridden for a while, the ass's gait seemed too uneven, and along came a wagon, into which he climbed. But the wagon shook him too unevenly. And he thought, "If only I had a litter, that would suit me better." No more had he thought so, then the litter came along, and he seated himself in it. And the bearers carried him to the city, in which dwelt the king, the queen, and the daughter. When the other youth had brought back the king's daughter, it was decided to hold a wedding. But the king's daughter was not willing, and said, "He is not the right man. My deliverer will come and bring with him half of the long pin for my hair, and half my silken handkerchief as a token." But when the youth did not appear for so long a time, and the other one pressed the king grew impatient and said, "The wedding shall take place tomorrow." Then the king's daughter went sadly through the streets of the city and searched in the city, hoping to find her deliverer. And this was the very day that the deliverer arrived. The king's daughter saw half of a silken handkerchief in the youth's hand and was filled with joy. She led him to her father. There, he had to show his half of the long pin, which fitted the other half exactly. And then the king was convinced he was the right true deliverer. The false bridegroom was now punished. The wedding celebrated, and they lived in peace, happiness till the end of the days. Thank you. And over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alicia Chia with a bird with 9 heads. Ladies and gentlemen, in our meeting, I'm sure you are totally enjoyed and entertained by Alicia. And timer, can you give us your timing report? Do we want to give up for each of the speaker?
Okay, really, what's the timing for Alicia? Thank you. Okay, sorry, I'm doing evaluation duty. Okay.
Really, what's the timing? Okay.
7 minutes, 7 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Next, we have speaker number 3, which is now, which was before speaker number 2. Before I introduce speaker number 2 on her project, let us get the evaluator. Who is Techni? Whose name is Techni? T-E-C-H-N.
That's me.
Is that Paul?
Just a minute. Okay, now Techni's actually Techni's my name actually.
Ah, wonderful. Okay, Techni. Can we hear the objective of speaking to inform project 1?
Okay. Now I should point out that this is the first I'd realised that I was evaluating this evening, but I do have the assignment form in front of me. The objectives of the speech for the speech to inform are: firstly, select new and useful information for presentation to the audience. Second, organise the information for easy understandability and retention. Third is present the information in a way that will help motivate the audience to learn. So Speech to Inform is from the traditional Toastmasters Advanced Communication series, Speaking to Inform. The time for the speech, according to my record, is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Now, our speaker is speaking on a topic called cashless payment in her speech project, Speaking to Inform. And before I introduce her name, I believe she is from the Marine Parade Toastmasters, is it?
Yeah, I'm from Thales Toastmasters Club.
From where?
Thales.
Thales?
Thales, Singapore.
Thales Toastmaster. We have Mina Kish, is it?
Yeah, Mina, you can call me Mina.
Let us welcome Mina. Cashless payment, Mina.
Thank you, and yeah, hello. This is my first speech in online Toastmasters Club, and I'm very excited to deliver it. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. So, hello and hello to everyone. Today, I'm going to present my first speech in Speaking to Inform Advanced Communication Series. So, cashless payment. Yes, you heard it right. It is cashless payments. Payment and cashless, how does it work? In recent years, even I was taken aback by surprise that we seldom use cash to pay for stuff that we buy or the stuff that we purchase in retailers, not even at food court, everywhere we started using something different than cash. Has it affected you? Can everyone check your pockets or your wallet? How much cash you have right now? If you remember, no need to check, but then if you don't, then you can check and see. Not more than $50 or $100. Good, a penny, that's good. If you again check your wallet, how many cards that you have? Definitely, and I challenge you, it's more than 3. At least 1 for the MRT, if you are in Singapore or any other metro places, and 1 for your debit card, and 1 definitely a credit or some other card, some retailer card you will have. Definitely, you're going to have more than a dozen cards at home, although you don't use it. So these technologies, how have they affected us? Hailing from a technology background and working with this technology for a long time, I thought I'll let you guys know what it has impacted us. You won't trust me, until the past year, all that I had was one card and one online account and not more than that. I have been using this one card forever and I didn't realize that I am held back in technology. Suddenly, one day, we all went for a dinner and then there was an ice cream shop. I wanted to have the ice cream. I went there. I wanted to purchase it. The shop owner told me that she will accept only cash or FavePay. Now, what is that FavePay? I didn't know what it is. I was taken back and I was surprised to know from my friend that FavePay is an application that can help you pay using your online wallet. Now, online wallet, something different and something new for me. Then I was a bit embarrassed to not have cash in my hand and to know that the shop doesn't accept a debit card. My friend gracefully paid for the ice cream and I enjoyed the ice cream. But that day, it hit me back that I'm staying behind in technology. I took it a challenge and I installed app on the same day. I tried FavePay and I'm glad to know that from then on, I have stopped withdrawing cash from ATM and I didn't realize that not even a single day I live without FavePay. I also realized that I have been using FavePay for the past 1 year and I have become a regular user of it and have become an organized user of it. If you want to know, I only top up twice in FavePay or GrabPay and I have been regularly monitoring what I spend. So that is a good thing in cashless payments. So what is cashless payments in general? It's not just the FavePay, it's all the credit cards, debit cards, or all the technological online payment, online transfer, even the Pay Now, Payla, whatever you use is called cashless payments. And why do we use it? We use it just because it is comfortable, it is hassle-free, and it can be accessed anywhere if you just have a phone or if you just have a card in your hand. So, to let you know more about the cashless payments, I would challenge you to try it. One more good thing about the cashless payment is that my expenses have settled down. I mean, the average monthly expense it will only range between will only differ by 10% every month, not more than that. And I'm pretty glad that I have been able to track my payments through whatever form I want, either by email or through the app itself. So it's a great thing to know that the cashless payment has always been a very good thing for me, and I would like to introduce this to you guys. And I suggest you can try FavePay or GrabPay. To conclude my speech, I was like the water in a bowl, knowing of nothing. When I started to boil the water, I realized that it evaporates, and that's how my fear to use the cashless payment got evaporated as well. So with that, I complete my speech, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Minashi. Thank you. I hope I got it correct.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for showing us the technology advancement in cashless payment. And now we have to move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is speaker number 3 on my list. And speaker number 3 is, who is SSLI8215? What name is that?
Sean not here, so we go to the last. Go Simone first.
Simone is in. Simone is in.
Simone is in. So the invader is Navi.
Icebreaker.
Navi not here yet. So we'll go to who?
Speaker 5.
Yeah.
066408880. Who's that?
Pallavi.
Huh? Pallavi.
Yes.
Right. Pallavi. Next time, just put Pallavi. Such a beautiful name. Yeah, instead of number. Okay. Now, who is Pallavi's evaluator? It's not stated in the list.
Hendrik.
Hendrik.
Yes,
right.
me here.
Hendrik, let us welcome Hendrik to give us the speech objective of speaking to inform Project 4, a fact-finding report.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The objectives are prepare a report on a situation, event, or problem of interest to the audience. Deliver sophisticated factual information in your report so the audience can make valid conclusions or a sound decision. Answer questions from the audience. Time is 5 to 7 minutes for the speech and 2 to 3 minutes for the question and answer period. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hendrik. Very well described. Your project objective. So speaker number 5, originally speaker number 5, still speaker number 5, I believe, is Pallavi, Toastmasters Pallavi from Marine Parade Toastmasters, if I can recall. That was one of the speech, right? And her speech title
is for Bogo CC. Bogo Park CC.
I can't hear you.
She's for Bogo Park CC, Toastmaster Club.
Yeah, it's Punggol Park Toastmasters Club.
Oh, it's Punggol Park Toastmasters Club. All right. From Punggol Park Toastmasters Club, attempting the project Speaking to Inform Project 4, speech title, Excess of Everything is Bad. Let us welcome Toastmaster Pallavi.
Before I start, I would just like to place the timer screen. So just allow me a few minutes to, okay, fine, I start now. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, the topic that I would be speaking on is excess of everything is bad. And I think ever since our childhood, we have come across this saying many times, that excess of everything is bad. As well as during the last week's speech, one thing that kept with me, or I took from the last online meeting from Shanshan's speech, was who eats our food the first? And she said it's the social media, the Facebook, or our smartphones, because the culture has become such that whenever we order any food and the food is on the table, instead of we relishing that particular dish, we take out a camera and we share it on our social Facebook page. Not only that, I would like to share a few more facts, stories which will correlate to the facts that I will be stating further. Now, suppose if I have a headache, I'll tell my husband that, okay, I'm having a headache. If I have a pain in my hands, and when I go to tell my husband that, okay, I have pain in my hands or pain in my neck, or I had a sleepless night, I realize that my husband is a one-stop solution and one-stop treatment. And he'll say one thing, the solution for everything is your smartphone. Stop using that smartphone in excess if you want to stay healthy. And today, this is what I want to share with all of you. And I would like to make aware you people that knowingly or unknowingly, we all are digital smokers, or we are addicted to digital media. Now, 40% of people check their handphones in the middle of night. Even if they wake up for a few seconds, the first thing that they would do is to look at their phone. Now, many of us, if you resonate that when you wake up in the morning, what do you do the first thing? You simply grab your handphone. You sit there, you check what are your notifications. Then you move to the washroom. Then again, it has been found that 75% of Americans use their handphones in the toilet. Many of the people have 2 or 3 handphones as a standby in case they lose one of their handphones. Now, I would like to state some startling new diseases that has come into the scene. First one is nomophobia. Now, nomophobia stands for no mobile phobia. Have you ever wondered that if you do not see your handphone around you or in your pockets, you get a panic attack? You are blank. You don't know what to do because your entire resources is all in that particular device. So we are suffering from a disease called as nomophobia. Moving next, we have FOMO. FOMO means fear of missing out. Now, fear of missing out is the urge in us because of which it has been noticed that an average person touches or unlocks their phone 110 to 150 times a day, compared to a contrary stark fact that we laugh only 15 times in a day, which is 10 times more than what we access our handphones. We touch our handphones 2,167 times in a day. And the average user in the world per day uses 2 hours and 51 minutes of handphone, contrary to 45 minutes of quality family time. And trust me, all of us are gripping with this particular kind of disease called as FOMO. Next is fubbing. Now, what is fubbing? I guess we have also done, and we have seen people in our surrounding doing it. Hold on, I have a message, let me check. Now, this urge of when you are being in a social contact, with socializing with people, but still you have an urge to see your messages, to scroll your messages, to attend the call and just say that, oh, I'm busy in some social gathering, and then you just put it down. So again, that is called as fubbing. Not only that, there is a new syndrome also called as phantom vibration syndrome, which is that every now and then you feel that you have a vibrating feeling and your handphone is ringing. Moving further, we have PlayStation syndrome. Now, PlayStation Palmer syndrome is that when people play their PlayStation, they have their consoles in their hand, and as a result, they have swollen and inflamed palms. Not only that, I think majority of we adults, we are suffering from cyberchondria. What is cyberchondria? Cyberchondria is when we refer to excessive usage of net to find out and read about the various diseases. Suppose if we have headache, we refer net, and from simple headache to a cancer or a brain tumor, we get to diagnose all so many things, and then we are in a stress. Moving further, it's not only we adults, the teenagers, and even the infants, we all are gripped in its vicious circle. Parents, they have resorted to digital nannies. And I think myself and all of you sitting over here, I presume, have done this crime by giving your toddler an iPad or mobile just to keep him or her engaged. Not only that, even we adults are now quite addicted to digital pacifiers. What is this digital pacifier? Digital pacifier means if we take any picture of us, we immediately upload it on Facebook or any other social platform just to know how many likes do I get, even if it is by strangers, how many followers are there. Now, when we get to know the likes and the followers, we get a happy feeling. Now, this happy feeling is associated with dopamine and oxytocin. These are pleasure hormones in our body. And now when we get these hormones, we associate our happiness with these digital devices, and unknowingly, to seek our pleasure, we are being dependent on this particular device. Not only that, it has been in a survey in Korea probably that 19-year-old boys, digitally addicted, and those who are not using digital devices, a survey was conducted on them, and it was found that a GABA named thing was found in their brain who were more digitally addicted, which is a neurotransmitter slowdown. It slows down your neurotransmission. As a result, the child is unable to focus and make decisions. And as a result, we can understand that if a child is not focused and is not sincere enough, what is the main culprit? So what is the requirement of our time? The requirement of our time is that excess of everything is bad. So what should we do? Like when in America or in the world, we found that eating of excess of junk food causes diabetes and many other diseases. So what should we do? We created an awareness about healthy eating. So likewise, if we are overly using digital devices, so what is the best way? It's moderation. Moderation is the key. We should cut out on our digital time. We should allow no phones in the bedroom, and we should go for a digital detox. Now, thank you so much. And I open the question answer rounds to the people around.
People, let's ask questions. What do you think is the best way to for the remedy of digital pacifier?
Sorry?
Do you have any solution for
Okay, yeah.
cover from digital pacifying? You know, the
Okay, so
chemical in our head that we demand so much every day.
Yeah. Okay, the first step is to reduce the number of apps that we have on our handphones. Why do we need so many social media platforms? We have Twitter, we have Insta, we have Facebook, and you just name them. So again, I think in school we have studied that man is the best decision maker. And we have to decide what is best for us. So now if we know, if we are addicted to it, we seek such way of pacification, what should we do? We should first cut off on the number of apps, social media apps that we have on our phone, because that is the solution, bringing the solution from by removing the root cause. Next, we should understand that happiness is not virtually. Happiness is literally right in front of you. Why do you need external validation from people? People who are unhappy or who do not, the question is, why do we seek external gratification, instant gratification? We should be content, and we should understand that even if 1,000 people like one of my pouted pictures or the food that I'm eating, it hardly matters to them. It's that we stop practicing it and we spread the word, and as a result, it will happen. I'll just share you an instance. I think many of you have seen your friends or acquaintances doing this. It is your anniversary. It is your child's birthday. You wish on the platform of Facebook, my dear hubby, my dear child, you're the best person, you are this, you're that. Why do you need to greet or convey your wishings or convey your emotions to a family member who's staying just next to you, instead of going on a social media platform and telling the entire world that, see, I care for you? It's better that you go to the person and then you tell the person that, okay, this is my emotion or feeling for them. So we should be more self-content, and we should not look for external gratification, which is instant and which is literally of no use.
Any other question, please?
Yes, we are cavemen and cavewomen by design. Can you guys hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Naveen, yeah.
Right, by design, we are cavemen and cavewomen, and we are living in an unnatural environment. We are actually designed for the sub-Saharan African environment. So, with this plethora of abundance, right, is it unnatural? How do we get across it?
Sorry, can you come up with the last line?
How do we, with the abundance that we have, how do we overcome this abundance?
Okay, I think, Naveen, that is what my topic is about, that excess of everything is bad. So even if you have abundant things lying in front of you, you need to prioritize, you need to decide. We know that certain things are cancerous, and if we know that if I do this, I get cancer. And still, if we are overlooking it, that means we are looking for an instant gratification or a short-sighted vision. What is required, that the people should have a long vision. They should understand that what effect it would have on a long-term basis. Like all of you know, or I don't know if you are aware or not, but when we read our handphones with lights off, it releases a blue ray, and that blue light is extremely harmful for our eyes, and it can damage our retina. So here it is we human beings. I just want to state one line to understand that it was this smart brain that created this smartphone. And this master has become slave of a slave. Now it is high time that we should awake and we should decide and we should really ponder, what do we really want? Do we really want to see ourselves in the graves, enjoying the abundance, or we need to understand that excess of everything is bad? We are to lead by example, because what we are doing, it is affecting our children. The teens are literally suffering from it. 2 years old, they know how to scroll, they know how to pinch the screen, they know how to swipe the screen, but when you ask them to hold a pencil, they cannot hold a correct pencil grip. So it's a quite crippling issue in front of us that we are not understanding. We are literally blinded by the abundance we are thrown with. But yes, we need to remember that it is our slave, and we have to optimize that. We do not have to become the slave of a slave. We are the masters, we are the creators. Any other queries?
I think that's all the time you have.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and a round of applause for Pallavi, Toastmaster Pallavi.
Okay, Peter, update timer. It will be transferred to Willy for time being. So I need to take my little break.
So everybody, we thank Uncle Turkey for his service this evening as timer, and he has an appointment, so he's relieving himself from the meeting. Thank you, Uncle Turkey. See you. And that was Toastmaster Pallavi with a speech, excess of everything is bad. Yeah, less is more. Yeah? We can live a simpler life. Moving on, we have the next speaker. Speaker 6 is blank, President. So we go on to Speaker 7.
Speaker 6, there's Speaker 6.
But there's
speaker. Refresh your screen, refresh your screen.
Oh, refresh my screen. Yeah, both my screen is used up. Would you like to tell me who's speaker number 6?
Toastmaster Simone, icebreaker.
Okay, I have that. All right. It's a persuasive influence project number 1 icebreaker, and evaluating Toastmaster Simon will be no evaluators there.
Navi.
Yeah, I'm evaluating here.
Okay.
So it's me.
Please tell us the objective.
Okay, the objective for the Toastmaster is to introduce yourself to the club and to learn about public speaking. Good luck, Simon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lave. Now, Toastmaster Simon, who will be doing the persuasive influence speech, has not submitted the speech title. So I would like to request Toastmaster Simon to tell us the speech title. Simon or Simani?
I'm not doing the persuasive. I'm doing the new pathway, the icebreaker.
New pathway. Which pathway are you doing?
Oh, the first one called the icebreaker. That's for my
one?
first.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I have a change.
Okay. And your speech title?
My speech title: She who hears, God has heard.
She who hears, God has heard. Toastmaster Simon, let me begin.
So I can start now? Okay. Okay, thank you, Peter, for the introduction. Okay, and good evening to each and every one of you here, Toastmasters, and fellow Toastmasters and the guests listening in. This is my first speech for the pathway, and my icebreaker is all about me, all right? And why me? Simone Tracier. When that name rings a bell, it will means see money. Anyone here love money? Or anyone here who love to see money? Yeah, I'm sure everyone here would love to see money. So see me. Why see me? Well, earlier on someone said cashless payment, excess of everything is bad, literally bad.
And money is something essential, but too much is a greed. Don't you agree? Well, we are all invaded around us with excess of everything which money can buy. But then there's a hope. Then since the day we born, and that song rings the bell, upcoming Christmas, a ray of hope flickers in the sky, a shining star. Right? That's all the stars is all about. And I come from the Toastmasters Star Millennium Toastmasters Advanced Club. Well, coincidentally, it's just linked. I'm channeled to be with the stars. And my career also happened to link with the stars. What about me? Why I joined Toastmasters? Well, it's basically to unlearn the art of speaking in public and also to refresh my speaking ability, able to learn and unlearn what I've known so far, to overcome the confidence on stage and in front of audience, and of course include online Toastmasters, the one and only here in Singapore. I'm so excited to get myself started and with a new pathway called Icebreaker. And also why I joined Toastmasters in the beginning is to break the icy feeling on stage. It's not easy to speak in front of the public, and those were the days, but now I have confidence to present myself, not just in front of an audience, but online. And this is a marvelous platform. That's the reason why I joined Toastmasters. And because online speaking is very new to me, and this is my first presentation, my first opportunity to speak to all of you here. And the reason here why my communication goals is to speak well and to present myself well in a presentation, a sales presentation, and also to be able to teach and to conduct a workshop with full confidence. Well, knowing the opportunity given to me is marvelous. And this opportunity to present myself as a coach, a trainer, a career coach, a life coach, that's where the stars leads me to where I am now. And the opportunity also to teach someone as a career coach, a life consultant, where this saying goes, if I give a man a fish, I will feed him for the day. That's the objective of being a coach, trainer, and speaker. What I do is to make people happy. And are you happy? Emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. And the route to happiness is basically to have a peace of mind. The root of happiness, to me, it comes with the word love. Back with the wisdom you have online, on your mind, will bring you the content of how you serve the people all around us. And I would like to emphasize, it's not just money, materials, but it's the emotional and the physical well-being of happiness. As long as you're happy, whatever it takes, it gives you the sense of achievement in life. And that's our life goals, life mission, and life purpose. That's all about me as a coach, as a trainer, and a career consultant. I help people and uplift them spiritually, inspirational speaker, to inspire them to move forward with life, to progress, and have a good sense of happiness. And we want to build this world where we're united as one, and also the achievements of success lies within us. If you're able to help someone, it's a great sense of achievement. You feel the sense of joy, the happiness that you see someone and make someone a difference, make a difference to someone else in life. It's also bring a sense of happiness and joy emotionally, spiritually, and socially. You feel great. So at the end of this journey is where the stars will guide us to the next world. And we want to be in the right place at the right time and with happiness. And that's where Jesus is born in this world to save us. And we look forward to a joyous occasion this coming season with the Christmas celebration. That's a sense of achievement for me to conclude as money is a basic need for each and every one of us. And beyond that is a greed. Happiness is just success, and success is peace. May God bless each and every one of you. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you, Simone. Toastmasters Simone.
Yeah, I could see the time.
And the timing will be reflected in the chat. You can click on the chat group at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, okay. I can't see the timing. Oh, all right.
Timer will keep the speech timing there.
Hmm.
Okay, moving on, we have the last speaker. I believe this is the last speaker, Mr. President. Two more? All right, two more. After Simone, yes. This is reserved speaker. I got it now. The next speaker, attempting the Better Speaker Series, project number 3, Controlling Your Fear. Before I introduce the next speaker, I'd like the next evaluator to tell us the speech objective. The evaluator, please unmute yourself and tell us the speech objective.
I believe that is me. Right? Well, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, Angela is presenting a module from the Toastmasters International Better Speaker Series called Controlling Your Fear. I will be giving my opinion on how well prepared Angela was. Does she present the material clearly? How has she personalized it, because it's essentially a canned program? And how could she make it more effective? Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Project Evaluator Cheryl Poirier. Is that correct? Okay.
Close enough.
Oh, Cheryl Poirier. I think it's
Poirier.
Thank you. So from Canada. And our speaker, it's no stranger, definitely, to many of us. She's been club hopping in Singapore, in many clubs, especially my club. She came so many times. We all know her in our club. She's attempting the project Persuasive Influence, How to Stop the Stress of Public Speaking. Toastmaster Angela Lansbury.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me? Good. I'm going to be telling you about controlling your fear. I was wondering about being afraid of doing this speech, but I'm not afraid of doing it at all, because Toastmasters International has given me a set of slides. Now, I'm not very confident about presenting slides, so I printed them off. And I have everything printed here. And this is one of the messages I have for you. If you can't do one thing, do another. Do something else. There's a phrase, more than one way to skin a cat, which is a rather odd statement to make. But we usually say it without thinking about it. It means there's more of one way of achieving anything, and the same applies to giving a speech. I'm going to tell you 4 different stories. One is about how I helped a bar mitzvah boy overcome his fear. Another is about overcoming fear of a spider. Another one is about appointing somebody else to do something they'd never done before. And finally, there is how to get more help. So let's start at the beginning of the slides that I have been given as a guideline to tell me and to you what the problem is and why you're afraid. Now, the odd thing is that when I first came to Toastmasters, I was afraid to go to the first meeting. And I thought this was something to do with my being afraid of leaving home. It was because I'd had a car accident and it was peculiar to me. Then I discovered somebody else who said they'd known about Toastmasters for 6 months before they went to their first meeting. And then I met a third person who said something similar. They said, I'd heard about Toastmasters for 2 years before I got round to going to the first meeting. So the fact that you're here shows that you have made that first step, because there are people who never even go to a meeting. I'm the same with going to a ukulele class and going to join a Chinese class. I haven't yet got round to it, but I've been meaning to do it for several months. But I'm okay, because I know that my priority is Toastmasters. Now, the next fear is some people are afraid of giving a speech and they don't start the project. They don't want to be put down on the list. You say to them, would you like to give your icebreaker next month? They say, oh, no, I don't want to. Would you like to come out and do a table topic? Oh, no, not this time, next time, another time. I once got into terrible trouble at my Toastmasters in London. There was a girl in the audience and she was afraid of doing table topics. And then I turned around and I picked various people and I picked her friend and I said, who's next? And her friend pointed to her. So I said, yes, come on. So she came out, she spoke perfectly okay for 1 minute, and then she went and sat down and she burst into tears. Afterwards, the Toastmaster of the evening was very angry with me. How dare you upset somebody like that? You probably upset her for life. This is not what it's all about. So then I was the one who was all upset and afraid to speak at Toastmasters. And what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that you have to take the first step, and you may be upset afterwards, but if people are nice to you, and we were nice to her, and she came back to the next meeting. So there are all sorts of points at which you are afraid. Now let's have a look at what Toastmasters has to tell us. They say people are afraid of new and unknown situations. Let me show you this, just in case you want to take a photograph of it or remember it, or in case my accent is causing you trouble or I'm speaking too fast. My policy is that when I give a speech, I try to have a slide to help people. Now, a lot of people say, don't do slides, don't do visuals, you're there to talk. Of course you're there to talk, but there are people who can't hear you. So here are the anxiety triggers, the new and unknown situation. That's why you go to the Toastmasters meeting and you keep going to it until you get comfortable. Same applies to us talking online. If you go to an interview, a good idea is to go to the place where you will be interviewed, so you're not anxious about the journey the next day if it's not too far. So that's a good thing to do. You can even look up a place on Google and see what the street looks like and plot your entire route on Street View. Now, what about the risk of failure? Of course there's a risk of failure, but if you look at all the famous people, you'll find many of them failed once or even many times. One good example is Jack Ma, who applied for fairly mundane jobs, like working in a fast food outlet, and he was rejected many times and was last of many candidates, and yet he went on to become a millionaire later on. So you might fail at a small thing and achieve something great, or you might fail at a big thing but still achieve very small things very well. The next one that is on this list is afraid of appearing foolish. To whom do you appear foolish? Does it matter? Most people, if they meet you in a year's time, will have forgotten who you are unless you did something very dramatic. So don't be afraid of appearing foolish because they will have forgotten about it. What about boring the audience? There are two ways to avoid boring the audience. Do something dramatic. Like me. I produce an umbrella. I put it up, I pull it down. Now I've used umbrellas in speeches. The other thing you can do is to tell a personal story. First, let me tell you about the anxiety symptoms you might have before your first speech. You might have your heart rate going up. You might have butterflies in your stomach, uncontrollable shakes. One thing not to do is hold a piece of paper because people can see the piece of paper shaking. So one of the rules is either you hold a small notebook or you hold a small card. And if you have little cards like address cards, if you've got old ones, they're blank on the back, you can use them and write the key words of your speech. And you can punch a hole and put a keyring holder in it, or even buy something that does the same thing and have your cards absolutely still as a reminder. What I don't recommend is that you write the outline of your speech on your hand. I was told to do this, then I went into stand-up comedy. They turned the lights off, and then you're standing in the light, which is a spotlight on you, and you can't see anything. If you hold your hands away, you can't see them. And then, of course, if your hands are all sweaty and you rub your hands together, oh my God, my notes have gone off my wrist. I've just wiped them away. Lightheartedness, dizziness. The cause of most of this is either being too tired or not having a glass of water. Why do you think everyone is given a glass of water at meetings? It's to keep them with their energy going. Now, some little tips for you. Practice in front of a mirror. Rehearse in front of your family or friends. If you don't have family or friends handy, you can pick a mirror, just a mirror, or you can talk to your dog. If you've got no dog, talk to a soft toy. Failing all else, talk to a clipboard and hold your mirror in front of it. Pretend it's an audience. Then, of course, deliver your speech to a Toastmasters Club. Give presentations to other groups and keep giving the same presentation again and again. Toastmasters has changed from the old manual to the new pathways. And the first thing that happens in pathways is they ask you to redo a speech using the notes, the feedback you got the first time. If you speak to somebody like Darren Tay, who is Singapore's winner of the worldwide speech competition all over in America, he won club level, area level, division level, and then internationally, worldwide top speaker. How many times did he give his speech? Once, twice, 20 times, dozens of times. He gave it again and again. So if you've got a good speech, never think that you can't do it again or that you shouldn't. Just find a different audience so that they haven't heard it before. And if you go back to the same audience a year later, you might be delighted to find they said you'd improved. Another 2 tips: visualize yourself succeeding, managing anxiety. You can do isometric exercises, breathe, take a deep breath before you start. People say it's natural to feel nervous, your audience won't notice. Don't tell them it's your first time. Have you ever got on a plane and been told by a pilot, oh, I've never been a pilot before. I've never been alone on a plane. I hope this plane's going to be okay. Of course not. The audience wouldn't like that at all, would they? No, your audience is the same. They want to be told you are confident. So be confident, conquer your fear. I assure you that in the end, everything is going to be all right. In the long run, every speech does something that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Toastmaster Angela, delivering to us the stopping stress of public speaking, controlling your fear.
Have I got some time for questions, or are we running out of time?
Your project does not require the audience to ask you a question, unlike the earlier project.
She can ask.
But anybody want to ask a question?
Oh, let me just tell you my last story.
No, Angela, you can tell your last story at the end of the meeting, right? That you can have all the time. Now we're going to move on to the next speaker, Angela.
Fine.
Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay, the next speaker and also the last speaker for this evening as we hit 11:31 p.m. We have Shanchan. Shanchan attempting impromptu speech, speaking with humor in this impromptu speech, and I have the list. Should I just take over and share the list of topics? Before that, let Pim tell us the objective of the project. Where is Pim? Is she still online?
Yes, she's still online.
I was not aware that I'm evaluating anyone.
Oh, gosh.
It's in your program sheet. It was sent by you.
Yeah, Toastmasters wears many hats, Pim. This is a hat that you wear apart from the Santa Claus hat that you just wore.
Okay, who am I evaluating?
You'll be evaluating Shanshan. Shanshan will be attempting impromptu speech. Among a list of 10, she will pick up 2, and she will attempt it in a humorous way. Now, what other objectives, I am not certain.
Okay, so I'm evaluating Chan, and it's an impromptu speech. So I will be given choices?
Yes, I'm going to flash the choices right now.
Okay.
Can everybody see it? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, let me zoom in. Oops. Ignore the little. There are 12 questions here. You can choose from 1 to 12.
Let me pick number 1. You have unexpectedly won an award or other recognition. You are asked to say a few words. You just won $1 million on a lotto.
Okay, so this is the topic you want to choose for Shanshan, right?
Right.
Topic number 1. All right, let me close the screen and then Shanshan get ready.
Right.
Shanshan is our member of Singapore Online Toastmasters. And hang on, where is it? Hang on. Good.
Okay, typing is 2 to 3 minutes, and then another 2 to 3 minutes. So it's 2 speeches altogether.
Oh, so you need to choose another topic?
Yes, it's two speeches altogether.
Well, Pim, why don't I choose for her since it will be troublesome to open the screen again. The first one and the last one, topic number 12.
1 and 12.
Yes. I'll read the topic number 12 again later before you start the next speech.
Okay, so timer is really right.
Timer?
CJ.
CJ, all right. CJ, it will be 2 to 3 minutes. That means the evaluation format.
1 minute green, 1.5.
No, it's 2 minutes. 2 and 2:30, 3.
Oh, 2, 2:30 and 3, yeah?
Yes, correct.
What is number 12 is about?
Number 12. Okay, hold on. Number 12, let me see. There is a sudden thunderstorm at a picnic for a large family reunion. Everyone is stuck in the gazebo. You decide to speak for a few minutes to entertain the group while the rain passes.
Okay, thank you. I'm ready.
All right, if everybody's ready. So number 1 is I won $1 million in the lottery. All right. First thing first. It's sure to be a televised, or can I say non-televised, where you get the lottery. And what do you want to do? Avoid telling people that you have won the lottery, because the next moment they'll come after you. Can I borrow money? Can you treat me to this? Can you? The moment you will be like, too many requests all coming in already. So what you need to do is space out the requests and ask them, which one do you want? What do you want? It's not me that won the lottery, you know. It's not me. I'm not the one. You mistaken already. The only way to avoid people asking you for money, to lend them money, or to ask them for some unexpected treat is to just deny it. But actually you have won the thing. But to the others, you just deny. And just get ready to lay low until it's possible not to lay low. So just stay calm and just say no. But then again, it's very hard to say no to people who come after you most of the time, because the news travels like lightning very fast. The moment they hear that you have won the lottery, you have struck something that is so rich, there goes your peace. You'll definitely be haunted by many people wants to ask you for money and other favors, because you have suddenly a huge amount of wealth that you can't explain, except that you have won the lottery, unless you're into some other unexplained activity that you have gained wealth. So I guess it's time to relax. Now, of course, back to the thing. Spending money on lottery, it takes some time for us to get back to the lottery, to win the lottery, because most of the time you don't win. How many of you has actually struck lottery in Singapore yet? I mean, not huge amount, simple amount like $5, $10, $20 that time. How many of you have actually struck that after buying so many years? Frankly speaking, I don't really buy Toto. I don't really buy 4Ds except on certain days of the year. And it so happens that the amount I buy actually strikes the lottery. It's like mind-blowing, because it's $1 million. How can you spend all that? The next moment you see that when you put in that amount into the bank, you see that all the financial people start to come after you. Invest that amount, you'll triple, it will double, quadruple everything. Then you will like, All the unsolicited advice will start coming in on how to manage your newfound wealth. How many of you have actually had the experience of unsolicited advice to manage the wealth? But basically, I thank you for letting me win the lottery. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Next topic. Do you want to repeat the topic before you start?
Okay, next topic is...
She was stuck in the gazebo because of lightning.
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Okay, give me a moment.
Timer, are you ready? Timer, lock down your first timing and then reset your timing device. Get ready for the next timing. CJ?
Ready?
CJ, ready? Wave. Okay, she's ready.
All right. Bam! There goes the thunder. And the rain starts to drag cats and dogs, drizzles like the tap water in the heavens has turned on. And it's a picnic. We have actually organized a picnic for so long, yet the rain comes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can't predict the weather, although you can only check the weather forecast. How many of you actually check the weather forecast when you leave the house? And after that, you forget to bring your umbrella. Even you check that there's rain, but yet you forget to bring your umbrella as well. Well, since we are stuck here, now let me ask you, how many of you actually experienced rain this close, where you literally stretch out your hand and you feel the raindrops on your hand? Or would you rather stay indoors, snuggle under the bed, under the pillows, and just stream away into dreamland? Well, my friends, let's plan what we shall do later in case the rain doesn't stop. Oh no, the rain doesn't stop. Nah, it will stop in a while, but we shall see how it goes. And I think what we should do is to try to have a game. So now, everybody just calm down, relax a bit. The rain will stop in a while or in an hour or so. Don't worry, rain will stop. But let us do something. Can anyone think of a game that we can play? Since we didn't really have a lot of board games with us, how about we plan something like using our mobile phones to play a game like called Heads Up? Or we can play a game of Hangman using our phones. Although the purpose of this picnic is actually to be off our phones. But situation change, no choice, we have just used our phones and trying to get to do something before the rain stops. So guys, get ready your phones and let's start a game. Now, has everybody have the games heads up? If not, I'll use my phone and I'll explain the rules of the game. Now, the rule of the game is we'll show you a word, a picture, and you have to guess the thing. Right? There's a picture. From there, you guess what it is all about. So let's enjoy the game and have fun till the rain stops. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Shan, for attempting two, not one, but two, a impromptu speech, handling with humor. And now all the speaker has spoken. Can we have the timer giving us the timing report for the last speaker? Last three speaker, right? You have not announced it on the group chat yet, CJ. Unmute. CJ, timer.
For who? Starting with who?
the last 3 timer, because I don't see it in the group chat, there's no timing being presented in the group chat. So you have recorded down the 3 timing for the last 3 speaker, right?
For Angela and Shanshan.
Angela, Shanshan, and Simone.
Simone.
Yeah.
Simone
is 7 minutes and it's 8 minutes 30 seconds.
So it's out of time.
But all qualified until January. No.
Until 31st December, you mean?
No, until 1st of January 2020.
Until 1st January 2020. All right. So this is a 2019 offer concession to all speakers to be more conscious of timing. Now, okay, all are qualified. Shall we call for the polls then?
Okay. Our colorful speaker, Alicia.
Polling. Everybody go to the polling button, press on the poll, and now select your best prepared speech speaker.
I'll review one more time because a lot of people need not see. Okay, try it.
Mr. President, I click on any speaker also cannot vote.
You cannot because you are co-host. I need to remove you, then you can. Okay, done. You can.
No, I'm removed already. How to vote? The poll
No,
also.
now can vote. Now can vote.
It's missing from my screen. The poll.
Now can already.
Okay, there's only 1 vote, is it? How many votes?
There's 7 more people. Minus me, 6 more people. Five more to go.
I think we set the time now. Another 5 more seconds. If nobody vote, we shall close it.
Okay.
Do we do not
Okay.
need counters, Mr. President?
Later table topic I will show. Okay, any more? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And the result is Alicia.
Cannot see it.
Okay, share. You're no more a host already, so you by right you can. Everyone are viewing the poll result. Okay, let me try again. Stop, sorry, I share again. Can you see or not? No.
I cannot see.
I can see.
Because I think earlier you sent me as a host, so that's why I cannot see.
Maybe you're the other ID. Never mind. Okay. Alicia is the best prepared speaker. Okay. Let me show the table topic. Okay. Number 11, Hendrik is the best prepared. Is the best table topic for tonight. Okay, so we come back at 12 midnight to continue the evaluation. 10 minutes break. Midnight.
Okay. Do we need to have such a long break?
No, 10 minutes break. You need a 10 minutes break because the session is too long.
Okay. Everybody, let's have a 10 minutes break. The time now is 11:49. Please come back by 11:59.
The recording. Okay. Go. So changes. Peter will have to go. So can I have the second evaluator, Paul, who will be evaluating Chima, Mina, or speaking to inform? Over to you, Paul, for Australia.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Acting Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen. I was asked to evaluate Menu's speech cashless payment, and looking at the evaluation guide, there are 9 questions, but I will probably focus on two or three key points. I felt Mina's speech was in fact very topical. It's the use of cashless payment is an issue that has an impact worldwide. For example, in my country, you can use cashless payments for purchasing a house to purchasing a cup of coffee in the shops. I said most of the coffee shops I use now are almost starting to actively discourage cash, and there are a few venues, in fact, that don't use it at all. So it was a very topical subject. I felt that Minu was generally very confident. She provided both personal experiences and some technical material to support the point that she was making in the speech to inform. Organizational structure, I thought, generally was effective. It was clearly a speech to inform, and in certain aspects was a speech to entertain as well. And from a technical perspective, I felt that she was applying the AIDA principle, which is seek attention, encourage interest, create desire, and then effectively set a course of action. I also, as I said before, I felt that she brought in personal experiences. So her experience using a shop which was using cash, which she found was quite unusual, was I suppose was also quite shocking. And I think it's a point I think we all potentially could run into. In terms of ways that Menu could improve, it could actually build on her speaking skills for the next time undertaking a presentation, particularly a speech to inform or other presentations of this nature. I felt that the start of the presentation was a little bit confused, and I'm not sure whether it was timing or a handover type issue. I feel that in such situations, a speaker certainly should be ready to go as soon as the Toastmaster calls on them to do so. And I felt that, as I said, that confusion at the start could potentially have adversely impacted the rest of the presentation. Unfortunately, it didn't, but maybe in such I think being a little bit more prepared for the start, for when the handover occurs, that is probably most critical. Sometimes these sort of issues can turn up perhaps in a business type presentation. As I was once reminded by a lecturer once in business school, if your technology fails or there's issues with handover, you still need to be ready to go regardless. I felt that was probably the key things. The other point perhaps was a little bit more information would have been handy about the examples of the cashless payment system Menu was using, because I'm not sure whether they're just Singapore only or regional only, or whether they're potentially available worldwide. And we do have an audience from around the world tonight that would be interested. So overall, I thought it was a very interesting speech. It was certainly topical and appropriate to our times, generally very well planned. I think looking at maybe a little bit more information about the apps on offer, and also perhaps avoiding confusion at the start. Overall, I thought a very enjoyable and informative speech. I look forward to hearing Minu again in the future, and I'll supply a more detailed written evaluation to her in the next couple of working days. Thank you, Mr. Acting Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paul, for his evaluation. Let me go to the next evaluation. Hendrik, who is based in Europe. So Henry, you can start Iradia's parody speech now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. And the speech was access of everything is bad by Palida. And what I saw was a very good body language you have. Excellent body language. And a very good representative tone, representative outlook too, because I noticed that you put on your jacket and your and try to make very good representative, and that's a very good sign because then you act representative in your speech. Oh, I feel that you were very confident on your subject, very good confident. About the objectives, you let me see here so I have the right thing. Prepare a report on a situation, event, on a problem, interest, audience. That was a very good prepared report. Nothing about that. But I maybe think that the report should include some facts or some interviews or anything like that, or something to go after. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not so well informed about reports. The second one, deliver sophisticated factual information in your report so the audience can make valid contributions on decision. That was very, very good too, but then you begin a little too fast. And you have very good examples in your speech. But then somehow your tone maybe go to a little aggressive, maybe you can, what you can approve on. Because you think too fast, 120, 130, and then little aggressive tone also. That's maybe a little bit things you could calm down, take some little pauses, and then take a slower speech for the audience so they can listen. I probably understand it, of course. There was nothing that we missed, that's for sure. But otherwise, it was a very well, about the questions, you were very well prepared for questions, but I saw a little bit of one or two questions, and that you're based on facts when you answered. On the questions, you were very well prepared to, because you're based on facts. But then I saw you a little bit putting down your eyes onto the ground a little bit, and was a little bit too stiff to see when you should answer. But maybe you were nervous, maybe a little bit, or missed the question, you had to think about it, but I saw a little bit of it. But otherwise, it was a very good speech, and I'd like to hear you next time too. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Henry. Okay, the next event is Toastmaster Cheryl for Canada. Okay. To evaluate Angela's speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Acting Toastmaster. I want to thank Angela for allowing me to evaluate this project, because actually this one doesn't usually require a verbal evaluation. However, I'm ready with one just in case, right? One of the things I like to see for these particular canned presentations is that the speaker has individualized it. Angela, you did this so very well. You had great little stories and anecdotes to go with, I think, virtually every point that is in the program about how to control your fear. They were very clear examples, and I thought they were quite relatable even to an international audience. I thought it was engaging how you also had such dramatic gestures. You brought in so many props that were completely appropriate, and you didn't fumble around looking for them. I've sometimes gone to grab a prop and go, oh, excuse me, I have to practically leave the screen to reach it. None of that with you, very well organized. It was one of the things I enjoyed the most, actually. One little point of improvement is presenting the visuals that were in writing. They come as a PowerPoint from Toastmasters International. We have the ability with online clubs to share our screen. It takes a little practice, and it takes the right technology. In fact, my computer is so old right now, it's 12 years old, I can no longer handle share my screen on my computer, so I understand why it could be a problem. Without, actually my whole screen goes blank when I shut it down. It's the craziest thing. What you could do with that though is instead of trying to show it and keep your face on the screen, nobody really wants to read my scribbles, but put it so that it covers you and we can read it rather than have it so on an angle that I couldn't see it. This is some advice for the host as well. I found she wasn't highlighted for me at the right time. Like right now, I'm taking up most of my screen. I would have loved to have seen that for Angela, especially at the times where she was presenting written information. What I also picked up from this that I really enjoyed was, I think I'm quoting you correctly, if you can't do one thing, do something else. You showed us some great examples of that, and you showed us by trying to show the written information. So I think everyone who watched this today had something they could pick out from it and learn a little bit how to handle some of the common fears when one is presenting at a Toastmasters meeting or outside of Toastmasters. Thank you, Angela. And if you send me your email in the chat, I'll send you a written evaluation. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cheryl, for her positive evaluation of Angela Better Speaker Series. Okay. Okay, the next evaluator is Toastmaster Dennis. Over to you to evaluate Toastmaster Joanne speech.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I see that Joanne's not online right now, but hopefully she'll review this a little bit later. Today or tonight, Joanne was supposed to give a presentation on how to understand her leadership style. The title of her speech was, "How do I consistently motivate people?" And her project was to talk about her primary leadership style and to share that with us, and to do it in a well-organized fashion. Basic organization of the presentation was very good. There was an opening where she asked us if we've ever been a leader, and I'm pretty sure most of us have in Toastmasters. The body of their presentation, she had two major points. One of them was talking about how she formed a group, and then talked about what happened during that project that she had. And the conclusion, I thought, was she told us how to be assertive. She defined being assertive and then talked about being assertive. So the basic organization of her presentation was there. There was quite a bit of material though. I think that according to the project, it's supposed to be a 5 to 7 minute presentation, and she went almost 2 minutes over at 9 minutes and 56 seconds. So there needs to be a way to condense the material, or at least properly rehearse the project a little bit more, and notice that it will go considerably over time if indeed the intent was to make the presentation last only 7 minutes long. One of the things that I would look at, basically I'm going to evaluate this based on her organization, which I just did, and then something to challenge herself or how I saw her. And basically what she did tonight, and most of the time she is using her cell phone for her screen, so that her screen is very narrow, and what we saw was just basically her face. And also what she did was she had it tilted such that her face was at the very bottom of the screen. So I would suggest that for her is to learn how to tilt the screen of her computer or her phone more so that her head is closer to the top of the screen, so we could see more of her, because all we saw was just barely her head, and there wasn't very much to see, especially when she was going up and down looking at her notes. So that would be my main suggestion for her to improve. Two things. One will be to please rehearse it more so that you can stay within time, and then look at how you see everybody or how people perceive you on your screen by looking at the screen, and see how you show up for everybody. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dennis. The next evaluator is Toastmaster. Okay, let me see. Toastmaster P. to evaluate Shanshan's speech.
Okay. It is my pleasure to evaluate Toastmaster Shanshan, and I will start with the first speech that you just won $1 million. And I'd like to commend you for doing this project, impromptu speech, and especially you have 12 choices. That's very brave. I really admire you for that. What you really excel is your body language. It shows how exciting you were when you talk about winning the lotto and all this. Your voice, your vocal variety was very good. And your hand was very appropriate. You engage the audience when you're asking questions, so that's very nice. And around the closing, you have mentioned to just say no. So there was a message there for all of us that we can just say no. What I would like to suggest, if I may, you did show a really excitement in the middle of your speech and around the end of your speech. I would have liked to see you did that at the very beginning, because you just won $1 million. I would have liked you to start with that, like, oh my goodness, I just won $1 million, something like that. Start out strong and excited. Even though you did that at the end, I would recommend to bring that excitement to the very beginning. The very first word coming out, it will be how exciting you were. And that was my evaluation for the first one. And I love the body language and the facial expression during your speech. That was very good. Now let's go to the second evaluation, which you did the opposite. The first one, you start with a boom, telling us about the lightning. So you start out very strong. That's the same thing that I have suggested how you should start on the first speech. And in your body, you were explaining the picnic and the rain, and you gave us a vivid image of, with the question like, have you ever touched the rain and all this stuff, and telling us how you kill the time by suggest to all the people at the picnic that all of you should play game. So you really excel in the strong opening and the word choice, touching the rain, and your facial expression, body language, and everything is very appropriate with the message. The closing, very abrupt. I didn't even know you were close when you closed. So I would like to see the message. So, for example, make the best of the bad situation. You're supposed to have picnic, but it's thunder and lightning, everybody's stuck in the gazebo. So perhaps the message would be, just for example, make the best out of the situation. Great opening. However, when you were telling people, even though this is just a speech, to use your phone to play games, remember this is lightning. So maybe that's not appropriate to be using phone during the lightning storm. But it was good, a very good speech, and I can see people start playing the game on the phone and all, except that people might take it at heart, and we should not be using phone during the lightning. All in all, I really enjoy your speech, and I very happy to meet you, and my pleasure to evaluate you. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster P for his evaluation. Let me get Toastmaster. Okay, I missed out one evaluation just now. Toastmaster Navi will evaluate Toastmaster Simone. We can't see your screen, Navi.
Where's your screen? I can't see you. Your background is so dark.
Yeah, sorry.
Naveen, you need to turn on your lights. You are too dark. Can't even see you.
I know. Okay, hold on a second. All right, Simone.
Okay.
Thank you for your icebreaker. It was wonderful. When you first start out, I knew that you were a professional. One thing about your speech was that it has a very wonderful background, not the normal background that you see people have. So that was refreshing. The background was a city lights. I don't know how you get it. Over to your speech. To me, you have actually sucked us into the story of your life. Basically, you told us about how you wanted to be a good coach, how you wanted to be a good person. What I would take from this speech was that perhaps you might want to work on the details of your job, or how, or for example, you have done coaching before. Maybe you want to actually talk about in details more than one person, one or two persons that you have coached. That would be a good thing. The other thing you could have done was, what I like about your speech, sorry, my goodness, is it's very well structured, and you brought, you had a story to tell us about your life, one at a time, going down. Was really moving, but perhaps your conclusion could have been better. You could have, let us know she could have tied it all up together. You being a coach, your working life and your personal life, all together, and told us about it. But as usual, and very well, you have done a good job, and I congratulate you on it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, fellow Toastmasters, and I give the stage to a Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next person to evaluate Alicia is Toastmaster Jared.
Okay, I shall go straight to the point for Alicia's evaluation, since it's not the first time. This is not my first time evaluating her. Anyway, the folktale is one of the best manual to evaluate because storytelling always forces ladies to share their story with their vocal modulation, which she had used it quite effectively. Because she brought a message of a nice tale, which I never heard before. So kind of refreshing and new change. So the parts of the story that was effective, that she used a lot of hand gestures, and based on the objective evaluation, based on the evaluation guide, her voice modulation was good. She had maintained the message to her storytelling. Even when she is sitting in one fixed position on the screen, she managed to change the characters. How she do it? She used different voice level to differentiate different characters. That's one way. Alternate method is either to use the different part of the screen, which is very restricted, to highlight the different character, or you switch your body position. That means either you stand at a 45 degree in photography sense, when we always line up people in the 45. That's the usual. Remember? Okay. When we always shoot photos, we always like get people to line up and slant their body. That's also another way to use it. Both of us are photographers, so I'm trying to stop to photography sense to her. Just like how we capture the aperture of a person's, the brightness of the characters, that was also done through the speech, that she used the characters, and the moral story was so clear to me that there's too many takeaway points in every story. So sometimes it's how do we manage the folktale in a very natural manner. That is one of the challenges in this starting of the old legacy advanced manual. I done a folktale also. It's also challenging, but because guys, they don't know how to control their voice. Very hard to switch. The ladies have better way of speaking it, because they know how to control their voices. They have this gearing effect in their natural body system to switch the tone. Furthermore, Alicia is also a funny speaker, so this is nothing to her, this manual, because she has faced the hardest manual already, the entertaining speech manual before. So prior to this, starting this storytelling manual. So this manual is just more of getting her to sharpen her storytelling skills, get more to focus on making the story come alive even further. But if you put in the entertainment factor of how you have done before with the entertaining and your funny speeches that I've seen over the years, I think the story will even come alive, because the next project is even more interesting. I think it's personal stories, right? Not wrong. AP2 should be makes it personal. So when you put in the personal element with the entertainment factor and the humor, you combine it together, I think it's going to be an interesting speech that you're going to have the next time you're going to do it. Now, you know, enjoy the wonderful online session. Again, I don't know how you're going to do your next speech, next meeting. Let's see how. And over to you, Willie.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Gerald. Okay, let us vote for the best prepared, best evaluator. The vote started already.
More persons.
2 more to go. I cannot vote.
I also cannot vote. I take co-host duty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask the voting. The voting go to
Cheryl.
Jared
Yeah.
for Canada. I know it's early morning for her and early morning for Toastmaster P and Toastmaster Dennis. Toastmaster Cheryl would like you to come back to evaluate more speakers, because they need your encouragement for
Online management.
yes. You are the, I mean, I guess most of them will tell you the feedback of why they choose you. Okay. Now we are already going to the words of the meeting. Before I close the meeting, let us have the feedback for the various visitors for overseas for their feedback, and two visiting Toastmasters for Singapore. Actually 3. Okay. First, Toastmaster Pim, your feedback.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, Willie. I apologize. I didn't realize I was evaluating someone, but I was very happy to evaluate Chan Chan. I'm not used to a 2 hours meeting online. I do have 2 hours meeting in person. So something I have to get used to it. It's very productive. I enjoy all the speakers and all the evaluator. I love the table topics. And yes, I'm very happy to be visiting. If I may give suggestion, if I may, because you have many speakers, perhaps not everybody need to answer table topics, because it make it so long. You know, but that's only the suggestion. I really enjoy very much, very productive, even though it's long for me. That was the only suggestion I have, is to keep the number of table topics smaller, so we can hear the speakers sooner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster P, for your evaluation. Okay, Toastmaster Sharon, your feedback of the meeting.
Thank you, Willie. Yes, thank you for inviting me as well. I did know I was evaluating. I just didn't have to ask enough questions about who I was evaluating till the last minute. I agree that this is an exceptionally long meeting for me. And I think a 2-hour meeting is long, but when we're up to 3.5, yes. If you really want everybody to have a chance to speak, instead of having them all do table topics, simply introducing themselves, saying who they are and where they're from, is enough to have everyone at least feel they've contributed. It would also help the Toastmaster learn how to pronounce names, which is a difficult thing with an international audience, right? We have some German, we have English, we have mine, which is a French name. Not that I speak French, but it's a French name. And then the Toastmaster could be a little more comfortable with that. So I love those speeches and such wonderful evaluations. Thank you for voting me best evaluator. I don't think I agree, but I enjoyed the meeting. But you gotta cut down the time, man. You just gotta cut down the time.
Okay. No.
And it was
no.
wonderful to meet everybody.
Yeah. And for your feedback at Toastmaster P, before I give you my feedback, okay, I have the last speaker, Toastmaster Simone, to give her feedback before I summarize what our intention. Toastmaster Simone,
Oh, yes, hi.
your feedback about the meeting.
Okay, my feedback. I enjoy the online. Somehow it's very new to me. Of course, I had some phobia initially. This is the first time, being online with everybody, all over the world. It's fascinating as compared to a one-to-one in a club setting. I'm a bit shy, but I was actually having my quick dinner just before I start to speak. So the background was actually it's a nice scene from where I was eating at a food center. Of course, now I'm back home, and of course my house is a little bit messy, so I put it offline. Yeah, I do enjoy coming back again for more online session. Yeah, and I'll be more prepared this time around, as I do not know what to expect, but it's definitely worth my first attempt. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Why Singapore Online Toastmaster have 3 hours meeting or 3.5? Reason number 1, normal bread and bottle club in Singapore have only 3 or 4 table topic. We got 20. Okay. Because our venue had to close by 10 p.m. Singapore time or 9:45. We only got 2 hours of meeting instead of got 2.5 hours. The speakers, we have 15, 15, because we have a great committee in Singapore. We want to attract them to come. And we need the help of overseas Toastmasters to come in through the online meeting to help them to improve. Because, for example, if Toastmaster Dennis evaluate P and Toastmaster evaluate P evaluate Dennis, the level of evaluation is the same. So we want to raise the standard of speaker in Singapore. So that's why we open up to all those online Toastmasters Club. And this is something new for Toastmasters Simone, because we only spoke to her only four days ago. She was so scared about. She asked me a lot of questions.
Yeah.
To best on my knowledge. And I understand that people are tired. People tomorrow morning have to wake up early. I also have to wake up, go attend a workshop in the afternoon. But we just want to ensure that this meeting is successful. We follow what is supposed to the normal protocol, although we make it a very productive. We make use of all the time we have. Okay. Now I guess my feedback is done. Let me go and close it. We are 4 more days closer to Christmas, or 3 or 5 more days closer to Christmas on the other side of the world. Well, let me wish everyone a happy holiday. And after this week, I will close this meeting and I will stop the recording and we can just do a normal chit chat. Thank you. So the meeting has been closed.